And wouldn't be surprised to see if that Gontal actually had an attack that lowered Kangaskhan's attack.
Yeah, potentially there. We do see the U-turn going into that Gothitelle slot, and Zapdos will be returning to Omari.
And that's one of the ways to bypass Gothitelle's shadow tag right there, to U-turn out and really kind of scout what Sajin gets to do first as he gets to pick who he sends in.
All right, now the Talonflame's coming back in unintimidated. We see this Super Fang onto the Talonflame slot, does a decent amount of damage, and Tickle onto Kangaskhan. It's going to lower its attack there and its defense. Oh, the paralysis doesn't allow it to move. Kangaskhan completely shut down.
Yeah, right now that Kangaskhan really slow. Its attack's been weakened, and its defense actually fell too. Although Pachirisu and Gothitelle really don't hit physically, this could easily open up an opportunity for Sajin to switch in and easily do a lot of damage to that Kangaskhan, as it is unable to switch out right now. Super Fang, interesting move, always does 50%. Not always the most accurate move, but connecting to that Talonflame, doing a good amount of damage, bringing it all the way down to, as you see, the yellow, and really, I mean, needs to find a way out.
All right, and it looks like we see another switch here with the U-turn into that into the Gothitelle slot there. Omari trying to think of who to bring in right now. Looks like he decides on Garchomp.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like you said, Kangaskhan not being able to switch out. It's brutal there. And Patchy taking off 50% of Kangaskhan's health and following it up with a side shock onto Garchomp. So Gothitelle not trained that high in special attack. There it goes. Kangaskhan hitting through. Oh, the bulk is real. Oh my God, the thing has a sliver of health. That's incredible. Kangaskhan taking a little bit of recoil damage there.
Huge survive right there. Gothitelle is going to stay on the field for another turn. Interesting that Gothitelle has Psyshock, so now we see why Tickle's going to come into play, because Psyshock is actually going to hit it for physical damage. So right now that Kangaskhan in not too good a position. We see Omari with a lot of U-turn, a lot of volts, a lot of U-turn. So I feel like Omari, once he saw that Gothitelle on team preview, he instantly thought, I need to be able to switch, I need to be able to move around a bit more. I don't want to get locked into a certain Pokemon, so I'm going to bring all my Pokemon that can actually switch out with U-turn.
Exactly, Dewey. Exactly. And we actually do see a switch here for Sajin. Bringing in the Gyarados, going to fire off another Intimidate onto Kangaskhan and onto that Garchomp now. And we see the Protect there from Gothitelle, so won't be able to get rid of her this turn. And there goes the Earthquake.
Really good switch right there.
That was a great switch. Yeah, doesn't affect the Gyarados. Gothitelle protects, and Kangaskhan unfortunately taking the damage from that and doing a decent amount of damage to Gyarados actually with all those attacks being lowered, but it does end up picking up the feint on the Mega.
Interesting to note there, if that Gyarados did not fire off that Intimidate, his own Garchomp probably would have knocked it out with that Earthquake.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Clutch Intimidate.
Omari does not mind that Intimidate, as Sajin takes an early 4-3 lead. Gothitelle still on the field, really just proving problems for Omari. One of the things that's going to be interesting is that now Talonflame and Zapdos are left for Omari. Omari is going to be able to continue to fire off U-turns and really decide to switch. But of course that Gothitelle's already pretty weakened and can easily be knocked out. But I mean that probably won't prevent Sajin from just deciding to switch it out and keeping it in later on.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Dwayne. It looks like Omari actually might be locked in already. Already knows what he wants to do here. Going to put a lot of pressure on with that Zapdos.
Right, and Zapdos, of course, going to be able to end that Gyarados. And if that is the Mega Gyarados, I mean, Mega Evolving it would not be too bad a decision right now, because if you Mega Evolved it, then, you know, it would lose its Flying type and be able to take Electric type attacks a lot better.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Garchomp, nice. A sub-chomp off the Protect on Gyarados there. Zapdos firing off the Discharge into the protecting Gyarados, but might be able to pick up the feint on Gothitelle. Gets her. There it is. Gothitelle going back to Sajin.
Right, and one of the things to note, if that Zapdos is going to be locked into Discharge, if it's possibly carrying a choice item, if Pachirisu comes in, it's going to be able to absorb a lot of volts.
Yeah, about that, Dwee. It looks like Pachirisu's on the field here. Volt Absorb could be really scary at this point.
Right, and Pachirisu coming in, I mean, of course, I don't exactly know what it can do to Garchomp, but it's always going to threaten with that Super Fang onto that Zapdos. And Zapdos is one of the more bulky Pokemon, and eating a Super Fang is not something that's going to enjoy.
Definitely not. We do actually see the Mega Gyarados come out here, switching its typing, of course, like we said earlier. It will no longer have that Flying type. And there goes the Mold Breaker. Earthquake from Garchomp. Gonna do damage to both of these Pokemon here.
Focus Sash.
Not affecting Zapdos though. And does an okay amount to both of them, but only puts Gyarados in the yellow. Here comes a big waterfall on the Garchomp. Most likely gonna break that substitute here. There it goes, the substitute fades. Garchomp comes back out. And the discharge from Zapdos. Oh, it's gonna do a lot of Volt Absorb on Pachirisu. Easily eats it up, but this could do some decent damage to Gyarados here. And it manages to hang on in the red. Super Fang. 50% we right there. Oh, but proccing the Citrus Berry. Gonna get a little bit of health back. Actually, the Key Berry. I didn't see that. I kind of spoke too soon.
Defense, so
I spoke too soon.
Interesting item choice right there for Omari as a little bit of information is revealed. Pachirisu, of course, firing off that Super Fang, bringing it to range to activate a berry. I mean, we see exactly what Mega Gyarados can do. Good call right there from Omari. Probably saw that Earthquake was the best option. Probably was either going to smack that Gyarados with a Thunderbolt if it did not Mega Evolve, or sorry, the Discharge if it did not Mega Evolve. But if it did Mega Evolve, then get some more damage on it with that Earthquake. While that Earthquake's going to be super effective against Pachirisu. Pachirisu did not mind that Earthquake at all.
No, it did not. All right, looks like we see a Protect from Gyarados there. Garchomp going Earthquake. Doesn't affect Zapdos. And there it is. Really not doing too much. Takes it down into the yellow there. All right. I think it's safe to say that was a Citrus Berry. All right, and the Thunderbolt. Gyarados protecting itself. And the Super Fang again into Zapdos. Going to do another 50% reduction there, down to 49 hit points.
Right, and right now, both players just trying to see who can get the upper hand. Zapdos and Garchomp, of course, going to be very, very important to Omari because I believe that those two are his offensive powerhouses. Garchomp, of course, going to be able to defend that Pachirisu. Pachirisu probably will only be able to fire off Super Fangs onto Garchomp, as we've already seen Nuzzle and we've seen Nuzzle and Super Fang, so going to be able to do those. Garchomp cannot be affected by Nuzzle, which is actually very important. Will not get paralyzed by Nuzzle. Does not even take damage from Nuzzle. Now, Zapdos, one of the cool things about it is that now it will not get paralyzed from Nuzzle at all.
Yes, very true.
Right now, Zapdos and Garchomp going to have to put in a lot of work for Omari, and it depends on what Satan really has in the back.
All right, it looks like we're going to get another Earthquake here. Going to do damage to both of Sage's Pokemon and taking Pachirisu down to the yellow, really, really deep into that yellow there. Getting close to the faint and drops the Mega there. And the Thunderbolt, though, the Volt Absorb. Oh, no. Even more hit points back. Pachirisu just won't go away. And there it is, a Super Fang. So chipping away at both of these Pokemon. Takes a little damage from the rough skin.
Right, and right now, that Earthquake's not doing that much to that Pachirisu, but at the same time, whatever damage it does, that Zapdos actually heals it back with Thunderbolt as Talonflame comes out. Zapdos going to be able to do a good amount of damage to that Talonflame, but at the same time, that Talonflame, it's going to be able to outspeed that Zapdos and do damage back to it. So, unfortunate position now for Omari, as Talonflame, really not the Pokemon he wanted to see coming out of the back.
Definitely not. You always, you must fear and respect the priority Brave Bird.
Even then, that Flare Blitz will probably outspeed Zapdos if it is even carrying Flare Blitz.
Yes, very true. All right, we get the Protect actually on Pachirisu here. The Overheat going down. Overheat, Talonflame. Look out.
Interesting.
Picks up the Feint on Zapdos, lowering its special attack, but who needs that? Who needs that special attack anymore? I think he did it. He did what he wanted to do there. And loses a little bit of its hit points from, I think, the Life Orb there. Oh, no. How unfortunate there.
Right, and Sagen now in decent position. Talonflame versus Talonflame. And Pachirisu and Garchomp out in the field left over. So, Talonflame, if it can outspeed, if Sagen's Talonflame can outspeed and knock out Omari's Talonflame, it might be pretty over, in my opinion. Pachirisu might not actually be able to do damage, so he needs to find a way to get rid of that Garchomp as the Follow Me comes out.
The big Follow Me. Looks like we're gonna get a Brave Bird here from Sagen. I think he might have it here. Right into that Talonflame slot, down to 0 hit points. Talonflame won't be doing an attack this turn, and lose a little bit of life from the recoil there and that Life Orb. And there goes Garchomp with the Earthquake. Of course, doesn't affect Talonflame, and might not even be able to pick up the Feint on Patchy, but it hangs on with a sliver.
Pachirisu just showing off. Sagen, I don't know. Bringing Pachirisu to Worlds, that's a gutsy call. And now on stream where everybody gets to see exactly what it can do. Just it's not getting knocked out. It just does not want to faint.
It will not go away. I mean, it's always tough. It's always tough when you have an electric-type Pokemon there firing off Thunderbolts into Pachyrisu's slot. Follow me, so brutal.
Right, and definitely a lot of information that Omari can take away from this, as it looks like Talonflame can easily just pick up a knockout on Garchomp with a Brave Bird. But, I mean, a lot of information's been revealed for Omari, you know, that Talonflame has Overheat, that's pretty big. You know, Intimidate will not work on its Fire-type attack of choice. And Pachirisu is actually really bulky, carrying that Citrus Berry with Super Fang and Nuzzle. You know, you don't want to fall into that Nuzzle trap again.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All right, looks like we get a Follow Me from Patchy. And there's the Brave Bird. Should be enough damage to finish off Garchomp here. And there it is. As it strikes, Garchomp down to 0. Takes damage from the Rough Skin. And both players shaking hands.